Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and with The Reign of Superman, the second part in the Death of Superman animated movies by DC, I thought I would go back and check out some of the other offerings by DC Animation, some that are really good and that I highly recommend, others maybe not so much. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. So yes, as I mentioned, Reign of Superman is coming to our shelves in the next week or so. And I thought I would take a look at some of the DC animated offerings that, I really enjoyed. And things that if you're kind of new into DC animation, what you should check out. And there are a couple that you should avoid. But also like to give you a little bit of backstory. So, pretty much the modern quote-unquote DC animation began with Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, of course with Batman the Animated Series. And since then, the animation style has pretty much been consistent with that style that those two gentlemen were able to interweave into the animated series, Superman the Animated Series, Justice League United. They've kept to that style. Now, some could argue that that kind of gets old and that they should explore other avenues, and they have to, a little bit of mixed success. But they always seem to come back to that style more or less. And that continues, of course, with Death of Superman and Reign of Superman. But, at the end of the day, they're pleasant to look at. They make these things relatively cheaply. So I guess it's a style that they can afford to do consistently. But there are some actual really good stories to be had in the animated universe. Now, more or less, the films prior to a certain time are not really connected. They do sometimes bounce around in the same world, but they have things like Justice League New Frontier, which takes place entirely during, I believe it's the 40s and 50s. And that's apart from everything else. While it's not technically an Elseworlds title, they still they didn't really pay too much attention to continuity. So that pretty much changed with my first pick, what I think you should check out, which would be Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox. I absolutely love this animated movie. It's probably my number one. Honestly, I'm not doing a top 5, but I'm just saying it pretty much started a point from here that, yes, I think most of the films after this would kind of be connected. And there were hints of that in the latest film, or not the latest, but one of the recent films, Suicide Squad, The Hell to Pay. There was some connective tissue there, and they do have it in other stories as well. It's a very interesting, and I love, the source material is actually really interesting as well. If you get a chance, check that out, The Flashpoint Paradox. But it has a lot going on for it. I mean, the story is just epic. You have a world where, a lot of things have changed due to a little bit of shenanigan time travel from the Flash and the Reverse Flash. So there are a lot of things that happen. And for a while, there were rumors that they were going to adapt this into live action, which would have been very interesting. I would have watched that. But this is one that's definitely a lot of fun, so you should absolutely check it out. I don't want to drone on too long on all these, but I'll just give you little high points. So another good one you should definitely check out is AllStar Superman. Once again, source material, really, really good. But they did a great job with the animated as well. It tells the story of Superman at a certain point in his life where he's absorbed so much solar radiation, they discover that he's dying. It's a very interesting voice cast. It's absolutely something you should check out if you were a fan of Superman. Check this one out. It's a little different. It's a little outside the box, but I think you would enjoy. Another one that is a personal favorite of mine, and it's because I'm a huge fan of the character, is Green Lantern: First Flight. I love this one. It's a somewhat origin story for Hal Jordan, but it also introduces the potential of Sinestro and the Sinestro Corps. So I absolutely love that. It's one of my favorite arcs in the comic books, the run by Jeff Johns. It's absolutely, if you're a Green Lantern fan, you want to see a good Green Lantern story, absolutely check this one out. They also have Green Lantern Emerald Knights, which is kind of like a little bit of a short story collection. But that one I didn't feel was as good. Honestly, you could probably skip that one. Going back to the Death of Superman. Yeah, the recent offering by DC Animation, absolutely really, really good. It plays like a feature-length film. It's fun. It's heartbreaking. It does, while it honors the source material, doesn't 100% strictly adhere to it. You know, you got to update these things. This was written in the 90s, so you absolutely have to change a few things. But I'm anxious for Reign of Superman as well. Also, Batman Assault on Arkham. This is less of a Batman story and more of an actual Suicide Squad story. And would have made a great actual live action movie. The one we got is not so much, but I felt that Suicide Squad was the best represented in animated form in this one. Absolutely worth checking out. Go for that one if you can. And then, of course, I can't forget Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. Frank Miller. I mean, come on. It's a legendary story in the tales of Batman, and absolutely worth your time. And to touch on a few ones that you should probably stay away from, I'll give you two. Doomsday, Superman Doomsday. The first attempt at the Death of Superman storyline. I don't even know what to say about this. It's awful. It's rushed. It's terrible. The animation is even cheaper looking than usual. I mean, I just can't get over on how much of an uncharacteristic turn Lex Luthor takes. You know, when he's giggling, you know, like, it's bad. It's really horrible. And then another somewhat recent animated film, which would be Batman and Harley Quinn. Look, I know they got to capitalize on the popularity of Harley Quinn. I do get it. But even for Bruce Timm and company, this was a low point, and this was a recent film. If you're out of it for morbid curiosity, go for it. It does tend to go a little more towards the adult side. There are some suggestive situations. But yeah, other than that, it's terrible. If you want to think of it as a dream from a comatose Harley Quinn, yeah, you can live with that or something. But it's an awful, awful movie. But yeah, I would highly recommend checking out some of these offerings from DC Animation. A lot of these are available on Blu-ray and 4K. I know they're adding more 4K to the catalog all the time. And, you know, the newest one coming out is Reign of Superman. We also have Justice League and the Fatal Five. There's a lot coming. So, yeah, just, you know, be prepared. There's always at least 2 movies a year. This is good stuff most of the time. So, yeah, go ahead and check those out. So leave in the comments below, what were some of your favorite DC animated films? You know, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every day. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.